We all used to be babies, but somehow none of us remember it. The first years of your life are completely missing from your memory. So, where did they go? To understand why your earliest memories are missing, we first have to look at what your brain is like when you're born. When we're born, our brain is still under construction, and the part that handles long-term memory, it's not finished yet. There's a small but very important structure in your brain called the hippocampus. This is the system that turns experiences into memories you can recall years later. In adults, the hippocampus works like a librarian. It takes what you see, hear, and feel and files it away so you can check it out later. But in babies, that librarian is still learning the job. The hippocampus is immature, its connections are weak, and its memory storage system is unstable. So even though babies experience the world, they see faces, feel emotions, hear voices, their brain can't reliably save those moments as long-term memories. Think of it like this. A baby's brain is like a computer with no hard drive installed yet. It can run programs in real time, but it can't save files for later. So the experiences happen, but they don't get stored in a way that the adult brain can access. That's why you don't remember your first steps, or your first words, or the first time you recognized your parents. Not because those moments didn't matter, but because your brain wasn't ready to archive them yet. So even though a baby's brain can't store memories like an adult brain, that's only part of the story. There's another huge reason you can't remember being a baby. Memory isn't just about saving experiences, it's about organizing them into a story. When you remember something, you don't recall raw data. You remember it like a scene in a movie. Who you were, where you were, what happened. That's called a personal narrative, your inner story about yourself. But babies don't have that yet. They don't have words for things. They don't have labels like me, you, yesterday, or tomorrow. They can't say, "This happened to me." So their experiences stay in a different format, not as stories, but as sensations and emotions, warmth, fear, comfort, hunger. Think of it like this. Adult memory is written in sentences. Baby memory is written in feelings. And later in life, your brain can only read the sentence version. So even if something important happened when you were a baby, your adult mind doesn't know how to open that file. It's not gone, it's just saved in a language you no longer speak. That's why your first memories usually begin right around the time you started using words. Your brain didn't just learn how to talk, it learned how to tell your own story. So, if baby memories are stored in a different language, there's another problem. The brain that wrote those early files is not the same brain you have now. In the first few years of life, your brain goes through what scientists call a neural renovation. At birth, your brain is full of connections, too many actually. As you grow, your brain starts to rebuild itself. It strengthens the pathways you use the most and deletes the ones you don't. This process is called synaptic pruning. Think of it like remodeling a house. When you're a baby, your brain is a huge, messy mansion with wires and rooms everywhere. As you grow up, your brain becomes a clean, efficient apartment. Walls get knocked down, old wiring gets removed, rooms disappear, and when that happens, anything stored in those old rooms is lost. So even if your baby brain did store some early memories, the structure that held them gets remodeled out of existence.
That's why childhood memory isn't just blocked, it's overwritten. Your adult brain isn't just older, it's built differently. You're trying to access files that were saved in a system that no longer exists. There's one more deep reason your early memories don't feel like yours. When you're an adult, every memory is attached to an identity. You remember things as, "this happened to me." But as a baby, there was no clear me yet. Your brain hadn't built a stable sense of self. You didn't think in terms of, "I am here," "I am separate from others," "I exist across time." Your world was just experience, not ownership. There were sounds, lights, faces, emotions, but there wasn't a narrator inside your head saying, "this is happening to me." Think of memory like a storybook. Adult memories have a main character, you, but baby experiences are like pages with no character name written on them. So later in life, when your brain looks for memories that belong to you, those early pages don't have your name on them. They don't feel personal. They don't feel like part of your story. So they get skipped. That's why your first real memories usually begin right around the time you started thinking of yourself as someone, not just a body, but a person. Your brain didn't just learn to remember, it learned who the memories belonged to. So, when you put all of this together, the reason we don't remember being a baby becomes clear. It's not because nothing mattered back then. It's because the brain was still under construction. First, it wasn't ready to store long-term memories. Then, there was no language to turn experiences into stories. After that, the brain went through massive rewiring, and finally, there was no real sense of me yet to attach those memories to. Without a stable self, memories have nowhere to land, so they fade, not because they were meaningless, but because the mind that could own them didn't exist yet. In other words, your life started long before your first memory, but your story only began when your brain was ready to tell it.
So that's why you can't remember being a baby. Not because nothing happened, but because your brain wasn't ready to save your story yet. Your life started long before your first memory. And even though you can't see those moments, they're still a part of who you are today. So yeah, that's the strange, beautiful reason why your earliest chapter is the one you'll never remember.